guys, this is Crazy Kev here, and I'm here with UFC fighter Julianna Killer Miller. Julianna, how we doing?
I'm doing awesome, thank you. Bone malfunction. I'm doing great. I get to be here in Vegas, and I'm working on healing my body. I get to go to the PI later today, and there's a nice pool in front of me. I'm enjoying the heat. Couldn't be better.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm definitely glad you're enjoying the heat. And when it comes to like fighting stuff, it's been a little bit since you've seen the cage. What's maybe next for you? Do you know yet?
Definitely getting healthy and getting back in that cage. It's been about a year since I've last fought. I had a surgery, I had some injuries, and I feel like I had a lot of growing to do. My body is starting to feel strong, but before I rush back in there, I really want to ensure that I'm fully healthy. You know, I'm on 2 losses. My last fight, I know I could have performed so much better if my body was where it should be. And watching those girls continue to go off and smash people is really letting me know, like, I can do that. That's going to be me. But I need to be 100% in there, you know? When you're with the best in the world and you have 4 limbs and you're giving away one of them, you're only working at 3/4 capacity. You give someone a centimeter, one baby mistake with the best in the world, and you can get KO'd. You can get choked out, like one little mistake. And so it's really I'm learning that once I can be at my best, I'll be unstoppable. So I'm not getting back in there until I feel like I'm at my best and ready to put on a show for the world.
Good, good. We're looking forward to when you're at your best, that's for sure. And when it comes to your training partners, who's maybe some of your best training partners that make you the best version of you?
Right now, my main training partner is Melissa Amaya, and she's undefeated, 7-0 for Combate Global. She's a future prospect, and she has great pressure. I love working with her. Also, Braxton Reyes. He's a young up-and-comer, not 18 yet, but he wrestles in high school. Last year, he went to state, and it's so cool getting to move with him because I feel like I'm getting so much stronger every day. Once he becomes a man, I'm like, this guy is just going to overpower me. But right now, he is just like strong. He moves well. He's controlled, and his level of wrestling is immaculate. So I'm like, once I can wrestle like Brax, then I'll be in there. I'll be good to go.
Yeah, no, that would definitely be awesome. That's definitely huge for your game. And when it comes to Melissa, she's somebody I've had on the show. She's an awesome girl. I mean, what's maybe some of your favorite memories that you had with her?
Some of my favorite memories might not even be fight related, but sometimes, you know, when that perfect song comes on and you feel the music in your soul and you just start dancing. Actually, we had a little dance off before my last fight in camp one morning. I just played a song and we're just like dancing our little hearts out. And that's some of my favorite memories, is learning to feel good on the journey.
Yeah, no, that's definitely pretty cool. And when it comes to your dance battles, who do you think won?
Oh my goodness, I couldn't tell you. Maybe Melissa, if it was on video, but I'm kind of just in my own little zone. You know, we just got our eyes closed and we're just feeling it and grooving it. So at one time, it's no competitions. We're just enjoying it.
I love it. That's definitely pretty cool. And you know, another thing about Melissa, I was just watching on your Instagram the other day. I saw you just broke in your new Hawk Tua gloves. How are they doing?
Oh, they're awesome. Yeah, once I saw those, I was like, oh. And shout out to Lisa. She's one of our newest training partners. She shows up all the time. Lisa has great pressure as well. She's the one featured in the video that I threw the right hand on. And yeah, I didn't mention her earlier, but Lisa's a great training partner too. And she's always shows up and is just ready to go. So she's awesome.
I like it. I like it. And when it comes to music, I mean, what kind of music do you like to listen to and stuff?
I love a little bit of everything. It depends on the moment. You know, I can get down to some Rage Against the Machine if I'm fighting, or Red Hot Chili Peppers. I like Cardi B every once in a while. I love Rolling Stones. I'm so all over the country depending on the mood. It's just like, I just love music in general.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. And I heard behind the scenes when you were on Tough that you were doing a little bit of rapping. Is that true?
That is true. I was talking to my friend the other day. I'm like, I don't know what happened. When I was in Tough, I was writing songs and raps and music, and I haven't done that in a while. So I think now, as I start to heal my body and my mind from, you know, this past year, hopefully I'll be writing something soon. Maybe I'll write up a little rap for you.
There you go. That'd be sick. And you know, when it comes to rapping, I mean, what inspired you to kind of do that?
I was just feeling it. Like on the show, it was a high pressure cooker, and I didn't want to be hanging out with everybody all the time. Just because it's like I might be fighting these girls, and I just wanted to work on myself a lot of times, and I would just end up thinking things about the situation and start rapping it.
Yeah.
I wish I had a picture of the rap I did in Tough because it was awesome. They got it on video. I don't know why they didn't put it on the season.
Oh, that would have been funny if they would have posted it. And I heard another thing you used to do on Top Behind the Scenes is you used to play a little bit with these guys, some nunchucks. I mean, you have videos that you're using nunchucks and stuff too?
Yeah, so I had actually never even tried nunchucks. I just realized, what am I going to do if there's nothing to do in here and we're all stuck? So I brought a bunch of random little toys. I brought nunchucks, my little red ones. I got the fluffy on it because I knew I wasn't skilled yet and I'd have a few little mishaps. And I'm like, hmm. But I had a lot of fun. I used them the whole time. I'm actually pretty good with the tricks with them now. But I also brought a Rubik's Cube in there and yeah, journaling, writing. It was really cool when you're stuck in somewhere, what your creativity level can do, because it's like I didn't have to go to work, I didn't have to, you know, I had to have everything figured out before leaving, so I didn't have to focus on, making money. I just had to get better at fighting, and with your free time all of a sudden you're like, mind is growing. So that was a cool experience.
Yeah, definitely a cool experience. And after you won Tough, obviously everyone's been asking you about it. You did the DX Suck It. Did like Triple H or any of those guys from DX reach out to you afterwards?
No, they didn't. I wish they did though. I would have loved to do anything with any of them. I grew up watching WWE thanks to my grandma. She moved here from Brazil and didn't understand much English, but what she said is you don't need to know the physical language to understand what's happening in wrestling. It's almost like it could be a movie and you can understand the tenacity, the show. And I loved that. I loved DX because they were such troublemakers, Shawn Michaels doing his kick and they're always playing with the boss, and there's just like so much wildness. They always stuck out to me. I'm just like, you know, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, y'all are awesome. You gave me a ton of laughs. So,
Yeah.
tell the world, suck it.
I'm really surprised they didn't reach out, honestly. I thought for sure they were going to contact you or something after that one.
Maybe after I have a highlight reel and I just randomly pull it off again, then I'll get them.
Yeah, no, that would definitely be sweet. And you mentioned like seeing like the wrestling events live and stuff. What was maybe some of your favorite memories with that?
Um, there was an event where it was Umaga and Undertaker stuck out to me. Umaga passed away, rest in peace, but he used to run outside of the ring. So a lot of people would start hopping out of their chairs and literally just start running outside to the area because he would be running around putting a scene. And I remember seeing that and I ran out there. My brother stayed in his seats and I was watching the way, I don't know the correct word, but I was watching their energy in their entertainment level, and I always loved that. And that's something that I want to bring to my fights as an athlete is like, I want to make you feel something. I want to make you jump out of your seat. I want you to be like, what is going on out there? What is this guy doing? And I just remember being like, that energy I felt really inspired me to have a very entertaining fight style. So that's what I hope to do. I got to meet Undertaker too that day, and it was really rad. After the show, he's actually like super sweet. He's got like light hair, voice completely different, and it was just beautiful. It's like, oh, if you create this crazy character and that's who you gonna be for the night, it just looks so fun.
Yeah, no, that definitely looks fun. And when it comes to WWE, I mean, what's maybe your favorite finisher of all time that you used to watch?
I have a funny one, but one of my favorite scenes was actually by a guy named Animal. I don't know if you remember him, but
Yes.
it was a cage match, and he got thrown through the cage onto these pins. And I know a lot of wrestling is exaggerated, but I watched that scene and I'm just like, how? I just I feel like he just had to go through that. I remember just watching it like there's really pins all in him right now. Like he fell through the thing and it was just so crazy. That was one of my favorite of all time matches. I was just through the roof of like grabbing onto things. Like what's going on?
That's definitely pretty awesome. And when you were on Tough and stuff, you said you had to like cut out like smoking and stuff. Are you still doing that in your free time whenever you can?
Definitely, I think through injuries, marijuana can help you, especially when you're in pain and you don't want to take pain pills. Personally, I don't like to take any pain pills unless I have to. And so that was a nice thing. Like when you go through rehab after surgery, your body locks up and they're cranking everything out of you. And it's painful and it's not fun, but you have to do it if you want to get healthy again. So I think for people out there using that during that time can definitely help you mentally and physically just feel way more comfortable. Um, yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And now when it comes to when you're like smoking stuff, do you ever get like the munchies or anything? And if so, like what are you eating? If so,
Oh my gosh, I love cookies and ice cream. I don't even need to smoke to feel like I got the munchies when it comes to that. I'm like, oh, I would go get a chocolate chip cookie right now if I could.
oh, that's definitely awesome. No, that definitely makes sense. And when it comes to you, besides fighting, you also like to do a little bit of like commentating and stuff. Talk to us more about how you got into that.
I am so blessed. Harvey Casanalo, I hope he gets to see this. I used to fight for Epic Fighting in San Diego. It's a small local amateur show that brings up athletes like myself. I was Epic Fighting champion, and Harvey said to me one day, like, let's put you on mic. He said, it'll be good for you for your career. You'll learn how to talk. You'll learn. It's something that could be a future job for you when you want, if you retire. And yeah, that's where I started, and I just loved it. I had so much fun, especially one of the coolest experiences. There's a girl named Iron Butterfly that was fighting, and I was commentating, and I could tell that she wanted a takedown. And the way she was moving her hips, I'm like, she's gonna armbar. And I was commentating, and I'm like, she wants that takedown. Look at that, she's going for it. We watched her hips before. You're gonna see her get that armbar. Here it goes. It's locked in. Is she gonna get it? And she got the finish. And that moment was so exciting for me. I'm like, oh, I've now since trained with her, but at the time it wasn't necessarily that common. So I'm like, I could see something in the way that people were fighting, and it was so much fun to talk about, to be able to see kind of like foreshadowing what's coming and being able to see that and create an idea of the fight for the fans to get excited for. I loved it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely awesome. And like you mentioned, with commentating, it could be like a future job for you. Do you think when you're all like said and done with fighting, that's going to be the route you're going to go?
I would absolutely love to, but it's even been a job now as I've been healing. I got to graduate and I'm now on UFC Fight Pass commentating for Lux Fight League. It is all Mexican based promotion, meaning every fight will either be in Monterrey, Aguascalientes, Guadalajara. They just travel all over Mexico doing shows. And I have the time of my life. There's something to be said for the Mexican fighting spirit that they just throw down. And I have so much fun watching the shows and talking about it. I'm learning, I'm growing, and that's been a blessing. While my body's healing, I feel like I still get to learn, even though I'm not healthy enough to be in the cage yet. I'm so front and center. I'm learning from the way these men and women are performing, and it's beautiful and fun. And I hope to one day get to the point where I'll be commentating for UFC or interviewing or even ring announcing. I've ring announced 2 shows, and I have a voice for it. I can excite the crowd. So I'm blessed because I've got a little bit of everything. And, you know, UFC could call me for any job and say, we need you for this, this, or this. And I could say, I've got the experience, I got the voice, the mentality, and I'm ready. But before I focus on that full fledged, I want to fight. I'm ready to fight. I'm doing everything possible to fight. I just know that this commentary route is going to help me get smarter and better.
Yeah, no, that's definitely pretty awesome. I definitely think that would be awesome for you in your career. And you mentioned when you were getting on tough, you had to go through like 3 different series of interviews. Talk us a little bit more about that process and what they had to ask you and stuff before you got on the show.
So 2 of them are like online forums, just like about your life, what you love about competing, what's your favorite competition, your experience. The big one was the in-person interview, or not in person, it was like on Zoom call like we are now, but all the producers were sitting there and you're on the voice call. And I had just had a crazy match against Bia Mesquita, who at the time considered herself the greatest woman of all time. She wore a shirt to weigh-ins that said, you know, G, go, like greatest woman, go. And I felt like I didn't belong there. I'm like, dude, I'm a little purple belt. I barely subbed these black belts to get it here. Now my first match is against the greatest of all time. That's like 12-time world champion in gi and no gi. And I didn't really belong there, but I'd earned my spot. And I went to shake her hand, and I tried to be so nice, like, I can't believe I'll be on stage with you. And she went, shh, and like kind of hit my elbow away. Just in that, after the competition, she's more nice, but she was just really intense. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm coming for you. I don't care if I'm not good. Like, I'm coming for you now. And that was something I talked about in the interview, was my match with her. In that match, she broke my arm. I got hit in the nose. My nose was broken, but I survived the 10 minutes, and it went to something called overtime. And in that overtime, I was talking to myself like, anything is possible. Anything is possible. You can do this. And I accidentally said it out loud, and the crowd just started to get so electric. I mean, nobody thought I could win. Everyone thought I was going to get messed up, which I did. I got a broken arm out of it, a hurt nose, but I survived. And after the first minute of overtime, I started winning. I gained momentum. She couldn't get out of my submissions. And this went on until the third one. And when I hit one, I was like, I stood up tearing up. The crowd was crying. There was people screaming. Like, nobody thought that was possible. And even in myself, I cried before my match with her. Victor Davila, he's one of the owners. He's like, oh, are you ready? You're up next. And I was literally tearing up. I was like, fuck it, you know? And something in my mind just switched. And that's something that I loved talking about for my interview in Tough, because it's like, you have to have the passion and the notion to just be like, fuck it, here we go. You don't have control over who you're going to be facing, what's going to be going on, when you're cutting weight, when you're fighting. All you know is that in the moment, are you going to look into your soul and be there and go for it? Or is it really going to freak you out? And yeah, I think they got to see a little bit of my passion in that interview. And it ended up being the greatest sell point of what I can do, because I didn't have much experience when I beat her. I didn't have much experience going into tough. I had 3 pro fights. I was 2-1. Like, I didn't know what I'm doing yet. And that's pretty crazy about being in UFC is like I got into UFC with 3 pro fights. They gave me one of my exhibition matches that only count for UFC on my record, which is great. But it's like I'm so very new in this game and I have so much to learn and grow that I'm just excited to see where I can be, because much like tough, I had a rocky road, but I was able to overcome. And that's how I feel in my UFC career, that it's actually going to end up being very similar. Like, maybe I'm not supposed to be in UFC. I don't have the experience. I don't have the record. I don't have any of these things that make somebody supposed to be number one. But that doesn't mean that I can't beat them.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that was an awesome message and everything like that. I definitely am looking forward to your next fight. And speaking about like the crowd and stuff being electric, is there any like maybe dream arena where maybe you'd want to perform at one day?
Yes, my dream arena would be in San Diego. That's where I'm born and raised. I got to watch Dominic Cruz fight there. I got to watch I got after our tough season, Amanda got to corner her wife there. She fought there. It was the week after I won tough. Angie Overkill Hill, she fought there. She's amazing fighter, a great friend. I've got to train with her a bunch being from San Diego, and watching legends like that fight there were so much fun for me. I'm just like, I would love to fight in front of my home crowd, my people. That would just be the most ecstatic event in the world. And I have a lot of support in San Diego. I truly feel like if they ever put me in a fight there, I could sell hundreds, if not thousands, of tickets. Because,
Yeah.
back home, people know what I went through. They know it's like I didn't even start this sport till I was like 20. It's not like since I was 5 years old, I've been training and they've been prepping their whole life for this. I kind of fell into it because of negative circumstances that turned good, but here I am. And I just know that that's really powerful for people in my city, that it's like, it doesn't matter what you're supposed to do or what people think is going to happen. If this is what you were bred for or not, that you can just go for it and make it happen. And making it here is a testament to that. And when I get to finish somebody inside my home arena, it'll be the best.
Yeah, no, that'll definitely be awesome. I think that'd be a lot of fun if you definitely get booked there. And you mentioned like joining martial arts around when you were 20. Talk to us a little bit more about like your very first day on the mats and what that experience was like.
My very first day on the mats was not in any gym. I was actually at a club hanging out with some friends after hours, and they rolled out some mats, and I learned my first move, which was a flying triangle.
Nice.
And it was just so cool. Like, it was a really cool environment. I remember thinking, like, what are these guys doing wrestling around? Like, this is like, is this a gay sport? Like, what? Like, they're like between each other's legs. Like, what's going on? And then I started to see more of like the wrestling factor and the cool stuff you could do. And I was immediately like, oh my God, what is this? And the next morning I went to a Naga, and I got to see one of the young heroes at the time. His name was Devin, who was 16, killing everyone. The kid hit like a flying armbar, and I watched that in the crowd like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So a really random first day, but yeah, just on a little rollout mat on the upstairs of a club while the music is banging.
Wow, no, that's pretty sick that the flying triangle was the very first thing you learned. That's definitely pretty sick. And when it comes to like learning techniques and stuff, what do you think was maybe the hardest technique to kind of master and stuff when you were first learning?
How to move while striking, which is part of what I'm still mastering. When it came to jiu-jitsu, I was a natural. My first day, I ended up tapping a blue belt because they were doing armbar drills, and I had no idea what the F I was doing. I just grabbed it and pulled, and I was doing good against girls who had been training for a while, and the coach is like, dude, you're going to be like a 2-month blue belt. What? Like, you're good at this. Jiu-jitsu came so natural. I could understand positions. It was when I got to striking that I was like, trying to learn how to use my body weight, because I have a very tricky style. I'm usually smaller than most of the people that I'm competing against. So it'll be like, you'll think I'm grabbing here, but really I'm over here. And that kind of got me in trouble. And stand up, I would just try to put my head down and brawl. Like, I'm not a brawler. I don't know how to strike, but I like brawling. I like getting in a fist fight. Like, if you're going to be in there, you might as well just fight. I'm a fighter's fighter, which has gotten me in trouble my last fight. But I think it's something that'll be pretty entertaining in the future, especially once you said, what was the hardest to learn? Once I learned mastering moving my hips with my body, because they say head movement, but really this isn't head movement. Just moving your head isn't head movement. The head movement comes from your hips, your shoulders, your body shifting a direction. Like going here to here, a punch can miss me. It's so different than trying to just move your head. So that was the most difficult, but pretty soon it'll be the best. I feel like I'm gonna come out with some hidden power and start dropping girls one day, and everyone's gonna be just like mind blown. Where did that come from? Those jujitsu nerds now talking people up.
That's right. That's right. That'll definitely be awesome. We're looking forward to that power for sure. And in the past, you've also been training with like Chris Lehman and stuff too. I mean, how'd you end up meeting him, and what was training like with him?
Lieben is so awesome. He is so funny. I met him at Victory MMA when I first started training. I started under Dean Lister. Also, Jocko was in the building. I'm sponsored by Jocko Milk. I love them. His products are incredible. I got to start under Jocko, badass military man. And my first MMA class was with Chris Lieben, and he was still pretty wild at the time. Now he's an amazing dad. He's calmed down a lot, but he would really go for it in training. He would just be like, all right, we're fighting, let's go. And like, you just get in there and scrap. And he really sprouted my love for brawls. Even though I didn't spend very long being coached under him, I still did get to go visit him often. Also, his wife Brittany is amazing. From the past, they've become great friends, but maybe that's where I got my wanting to brawl from, because if you watch any of Chris's fights, he will just throw down. He doesn't care. He's coming at you, he's swinging, and you better watch out. Like, knock him out or get KO'd. There's only one thing that's gonna happen, and it's so entertaining, and I love it.
Yeah, no, Chris Lehman was definitely a legend, that's for sure. He definitely has a lot of sick fights. And obviously, you're a beast in the cage. You do a lot of commentary. You're a fun personality. I mean, what else do you typically like to do outside the cage when you're not fighting?
Well, right now, I wonder if there's a way for me to turn this around. I'm pretty blessed. I'm sitting by the pool. I love to swim. Swimming is such a great workout. I love hiking. Waterfalls are like my favorite thing in the world. I love the beach. I love outdoor activities. I'm not doing it now because I'm avoiding injuries, but I love to skateboard and surf. Um, I've fallen on a skateboard before, and now with like my shoulders and just like everything healing, I'm like, if I make one little mistake and I front roll on the cement, it's gonna set me back in my career. So no more skateboarding for a while, though I love it. Little dirt bikes and motorcycles, a bonfire with friends. I love to cook. And of course, as said earlier, I love to have a little dance party with my friends, of course.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely sick that you skateboard. Can you do any tricks or anything like that on your skateboard?
I can. I can actually send you a picture of me doing a handstand on my skateboard. I can ollie about 1.5 to 2 feet. I can drop in. Of course, I can't show you right now, but I can send some pictures so you can be like, no way, she really did it.
That's so sick. That's definitely pretty cool. Go. So I have this thing. It's a electric longboard. It's called a Metro board. Have you ever heard one of those before?
Yeah, I actually have one at home. I'm so blessed. I had a fan page, and one of the fans on there like, I know you like skateboarding, and sent me for my birthday an electric skateboard. And when I go home, I'm probably gonna do a very mellow little beach cruise. But yes, have you ever been on any of the like electric wakeboards or waterboards?
I haven't. No.
Me either, and I really want to go. Like, if you like electric skateboarding, think about that on the water. What?
Okay. I didn't think about that.
That's a goal of mine. I want to go on the electric waterboards. That would be so sick.
That's definitely sick. I never even heard of those. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that after we're done this. That's definitely pretty cool. So you said dirt biking too. What kind of dirt bikes would you ride?
I used to have a Yamaha XT 200. It was a 1950 classic bike, and it was really heavy. It wasn't necessarily the best bike that I could have learned on. I ended up crashing it and like burning myself. I made it accidentally wheelie. I was trying to just shift gears to slow down, but instead I made it wheelie, and it was cool as shit. I wheelied high in the air, but I fell on it, and so after about 1.5 years, I got rid of it because, see if you could see it.
Oh yeah.
This poor little scar came from it, and I'm just like, I'm not going to do anything too extraneous or with possibility of injury because I want to fight, and I already get injured fighting. So it's like all these fun activities I'm going to get back into once I retire.
Yeah, no, that's definitely pretty sick. You definitely have a cool life outside of fighting, that's for sure. And when it comes to me, I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I've been teaching for 6 years, training for 19 years. So I love martial arts. I love what I do. With all the people I have in my gym, what advice do you give them? Keep on coming into the gym to keep on getting better and better every day.
Love what you do. Have fun doing it. Like, I think the best part about martial arts is having something that makes you feel and be passionate. Like, what started my journey is I didn't defend myself in an altercation. People said you need to buy a gun, and I'm like, well, guns are great for defending your home. What? I'm gonna be in my little heels, leaving the club, and have a gun shoved in my purse? Or like, you can't take a weapon with you ever, especially in California. Washington and other states have different laws, but where I'm from, you can't just bring a gun around everywhere. So I'm like, I need to learn how to defend myself, and I fell in love with it because I'm like, no one will ever choke me, no one will ever touch me, no one's gonna grab me ever again when I don't want that to happen. And that gave me so much confidence and sprouted the most exciting love for it, because it's like every time I go in there, I'm learning how to better myself. I'm getting stronger. Like, it's fun to feel like you're getting stronger. You know, like I haven't fought in a year, and honestly, if I was healthy, I could take a fight on 2 week notice. Like, my body is ready, my body is strong, my weight is good, and have something that makes you feel like that. Like, when you talk about it, you can just feel like, oh, this makes me feel good, and have that be what bring you in. Not necessarily getting a gold medal or getting a win, but going in there with good people that want to better yourself is such a good feeling, and it makes training a lot of fun, you know. And also, for all you parents out there, teach your kids basic self-defense. If something goes on, they will thank you for the rest of their lives for having the courage and the strength to stand up for themselves. And, you know, having the school and this opportunity with these people are making the world a better place, because it's really reducing the violence and trauma that can happen when people can defend themselves. Like, if I'm walking down the street and I try to get robbed, it's like, that's a bad day for whoever's trying to do that. Look at Pollyanna Vienna, when somebody tried to rob her, like, what happened, you know? And I love that. I'm like, you go, girl. That's what, you know, like, defend yourself. Teach your kids how to defend yourself. And then it becomes a fun thing knowing that you can walk around confidently. It's fine for me to wear a bathing suit at the beach, and if somebody tries to grab me, like, that's trouble. Like, I finally feel confident in my own skin, in my own body, and I know you can too, and I know your students can too. So that's just the best driver.
Yeah, no, that was a fantastic message, Juliana. I always ask it to every fighter, and I think that was one of my favorite messages. So thank you so much for that. And when it comes to messages, Juliana, what's maybe your final message out there for the fans watching this video?
Thank you for watching me. I can't wait to come back stronger. I'm not in a rush because I want to learn and grow. I'm still a baby in this sport, and I'm going against people who are veterans. They've been training their whole life, and I know that I can beat them. However, I've got to get stronger and smarter. So, yes, it is taking me a little bit of time, but don't give up on me, because I promise, look at this. I'm getting stronger and I'm working, and from the mind to the body, I'm getting better. And before I go, I'm going to walk in the house. When I ended tough, a local skate shop made a skateboard of me, and so I want to show it to you for my little
Oh,
birthday.
that's really sick.
I have it in the corner here. So if you skate, I could
That's
kind of look for something, but I keep this one just for display. But I also have a board that has little pink light up wheels on it that I can use for longboarding the beach. That's awesome too. But yeah.
wow. That's really sick, Juliana. And like I said, if you want to send me that picture you're doing the handstand stuff, I'm ready to check it out. I gotta look up this wakeboard thing. Like I said, that's you definitely opened my eyes with that one. I gotta read more about this.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Well, I hope you have a great day. Thank you for the interview.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on. It means a lot to me. Talk soon.
Bye.
All right, bye bye.